Whatever you say you are, you are. Whatever you believe you are, you are. Whatever you think you are, you are. Whatever you feel you are, you are. That's how powerful your mental and emotional construct of who you think you are is. And for most people, until there is a consciousness rising and a deliberate choice about claiming their own identity, claiming it, choosing it, and standing in it unapologetically, until we do that, the question is, what is the identity that we are living within? Knowing full well that whatever your mental and emotional construct is of who you think and feel you are is going to dictate your experience of life. Where did your identity come from? And the answer is, for most people, it comes from our childhood conditioning. It comes from who we were told we are, the way that we were raised, the way that authority figures influenced us, what our sweet little child selves made all of that mean, the beliefs we took on, good, bad, or otherwise, and how we then grew up and started walking around in the world as adults saying, I am this, I am not that, I am this, I am not that, which is a whole big narrative. But it's not just a narrative. It's not just a psychological construct. It's also all of the emotions associated with that construct. And if you're walking around in the world as an adult and you want a certain life and you want a certain life outcomes, but inside yourself you have an identity, I believe I'm this, I believe I'm that, I believe I'm not this, I'm not that. If that identity that you have taken on board inside yourself doesn't match, does not align with the life you want, it cannot be. Because we get what we believe we are, we get what we think we are worth, we get what we feel we are, we behave and act in a way that aligns with all of that inside of ourselves, and then we get results that match it. So when we want life experiences in the future, which are new and different, we have to ask ourselves, who would I need to be in order to welcome, invite, create, and sustain and embody that kind of life? So put it really simply this. In your mind, you have a construct called an identity, and it's who you think you are. And you can change who you think you are and your identity at any point in time by just deliberately and consciously claiming a new form of identity, because guess what? The one you have is just what you've picked up from early on in life about who you think you are. So if you don't like it, it doesn't work for you, ditch it and choose a new one. And then embody it. And what happens is when you claim a new identity for yourself and you start to believe, think, feel, and act that way, your life starts to flow into alignment with that new identity.
You're listening to Practical Spirituality with B, the podcast with spiritual advice for your everyday life, helping you align with your soul so you can live with purpose, fulfillment, and magic. I'm Bernadette Logue. You can call me B, and I'm excited to share this episode with you.
Welcome to this episode. I'm so excited to be here with you today. We're going to be talking about changing your mind about who you are by claiming your own identity. I'm going to explain why this is really powerful for you and how to do it. And I invite you to stay tuned to the end of the podcast episode, because you'll be the first to hear about an awesome and very inspired new offer that I've just put together for a maximum of 10 people. And it's a really powerful opportunity to work with me to do deep mind mastery, identity shift work that's going to ripple into every area of your life. So, before I tell you about that, let's talk about changing your mind about who you are, claiming your own identity. Why are we talking about this? As you know, I'm a spiritual life coach, and I've got over 10 years experience in transformation coaching. So transformation coaching being the evolution of who you are spiritually, psychologically, emotionally, at every level, for you to step into who you were born to be. The soul that you are, the plan and purpose for you being here, for you to be your fully, utterly expressed soul self, living the life that you desire from your heart. To do that requires addressing yourself at the level of your psychology and your emotion. There is no spiritually evolved path without you dealing with your mind and your emotions, because you are subject to the experience of being human. So it has become very clear to me, as it always does, what the podcast topic is for this week, because life has literally just given me endless signs and synchronicities about identity. I've had 2 clients come to me and specifically talk about identity. In a live session I did recently with a group, we also talked about identity, and then 2 personal contacts have both raised identity with me. So I get the signs from life. I'm like, okay, universe, I hear it loud and clear. We're going to be doing a session on the podcast about identity to help everyone in this beautiful community. So your identity, what does it even mean? It's basically who you think you are. And that's it. Just put in a really blunt, simple format. Who do you think you are? And the answer to that is your identity is usually like a big bundle, a big collection of your beliefs about yourself. And those beliefs can, at their foundation, include what you believe about your worth and your value and your capability, all the core foundational beliefs about your enoughness, your place in this world and what you have to offer. But then they can also, in addition to those core beliefs, your identity commonly also includes things that you have given yourself as labels, roles and responsibilities. Your place and position in family, in society, in your community, in your culture. So we have these very deep beliefs about your enoughness, your worth, your value. And then we have what I would call more your 3D world beliefs. I am of this culture, this ethnicity, this country, this nationality, this gender, this orientation, this profession. We have all of these other labels that we take on. Now, if you take the big bundle of the beliefs about who you think you are and put them in a big bucket, okay, and then you ask yourself, how positive is that identity? Or how negative is that identity? How much does that identity that I currently have work for me? Or how much is that identity working against me? And when you think about all the beliefs and thoughts that you have about who you are, how's that working for you in your career or not working for you? How's that working for you in relation to loving, intimate relationships, friendships, family? Or how's it not working for you? How are all those beliefs and thoughts bundled together as your identity? How's that working for you in relation to money, goals, the lifestyle that you want? how's that identity working for you in relation to your health or not working for you? So we want to do a little bit of a check-in around that, because if we have beliefs that say I'm not capable, I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving, I'm not good enough, nothing that I ever do is good enough, I don't belong, I'm not this, I'm not that, I don't need to know anything else about you to know that ain't working for you, and that ain't never going to work for you. Okay? And so, as you probably know, if you've been in my community a while, I'm going to lay it out for you. It's not your fault, because you picked up all of these formative foundations in your identity, usually before you're 7 years old, certainly before you're a grown adult. They lay down like tracks in your mind called neural pathways. You have big emotions glued up with them, like shame and not enoughness, because we've been through experiences in our life. We've had conditioning from authority figures, upbringing, parents, experiences we've had and traumas, and then it all lays down who we think we are. And then we grab our suitcase and walk out into life, and we go, this is who I am. All the things that happened to me, all the things that didn't happen, all the things people said to me, all the things I didn't achieve, all the things I witnessed, all the ways I've been conditioned by society, by authority, by religion, by my family, by this, by that, by everything. And then I walk out into life, and here I am, life, and now I'm going to try and do success. Now I'm going to try and do feeling happy, peaceful, content, and awesome. But I've got an identity that does not match it. And so I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and then we're going to start to break this down a little bit. And by the way, I've been having some fabulous conversations with friends and close people to me about this. Your mental construct of who you think you are can totally work for you in certain areas and completely sabotage you in other areas. Like, you could have received some really great formative conditioning around like health, body, and relationships, and you could be thriving in those areas, but you could have got some really negative conditioning around like money and your intelligence and your capability, and that could be completely sabotaging you in your career, business, goals, other areas of your life. So it's not a black and white, you have a negative identity and your life isn't working, or you have a positive identity and all of your life is working. It's far more nuanced than that, okay? So let us look at your current life. I'm going to propose a negative identity challenge, okay? Look at your life right now. You have a certain life right now based on, yes, this is confronting, based on the identity you currently have, okay? So putting it another way, you have an identity about who you think you are, and it has created the life you have now. That is a bitter pill to swallow. But stick with it, because with utter openness and radical responsibility for everything that is in your life, even the stuff you didn't by your hand create, is where you get your power, okay? There is no power if you disassociate yourself and detach from that you're responsible for everything, because then you're not responsible and you have no power, no control, okay? So stick with me. Because of the identity that you currently have, your life is a certain way right now. Now, if something in your life, in your identity, is not working for you, so let's say, for example, you say to me, well, in my identity, I have I'm not worthy. So my mental construct of who I am, my mind is set to, I am not worthy. Okay, that is definitely 5,000% going to show up in your life circumstances. Because I am not worthy as part of an identity will create issues in you going after what you want, getting what you want, creating what you want, receiving. It will create issues in power. It will create issues in abundance. It will create issues in different areas of your life. So let's say part of your identity, remember we're doing the negative identity challenge, so we're looking at the negative. Let's say you have the belief somewhere inside your identity, my name is blah, I'm of this country, I do this for a job, and I am unworthy, right? That's a bundle of things that make up an identity. Now, that is feeding into your current life situation. Here is the problem. When you want to change your mind about who you are, change your identity, it means changing that core belief. Now, if I said to you, we're going to change your core belief, I am unworthy, and we're going to rewire your mind, which we can absolutely do, to I am completely worthy, watch out world, here I come. Here is the challenge, and this is showing up so many times in coaching, and it's really powerful to understand. If we're to change that and you are to go out into the world without the belief, I am unworthy, here is where fear comes in. I don't know who I would be without this belief. I don't know how to be in the world without this belief. I don't know what I would do in the world if I didn't have this belief. It is too unfamiliar and uncertain for me to ditch this belief. I am unworthy, because it's the only identity I have ever known, and I will be out there unanchored, adrift, going, what the bleep? And as strange as it sounds, we hold on to the negative aspects of our identity because we simply do not know who we would be without them. So look in your own identity about who you believe you are, and look at whatever might be negative and limiting inside of that, and you have to ask yourself, who would I be without that? And if you don't have a good answer to fill that space, then your own primitive wiring inside will want to avoid letting go of your negative identity, because at least it's an identity and at least you know where you stand. And that's the weird thing about being human. We will hold on to the negative, the limiting, the toxic, the difficult, the habitual, the stuff that keeps us in looping and patterns, simply because it's familiar and we know how to do it. And who the heck would I be? What would I do? Where would I go? What would I say? How would I behave? What will happen in my life if I don't have that? So we cannot ditch the negative identity until we have claimed a powerful new identity and we have understood how to be in the world as a new person, so that we feel safe and we know where we're going. We want to go on a journey, but we want an idea of where we're going before we're willing to get in the car and drive there. So that's the negative identity challenge. I just want you to sit with that. Do that exercise, because it's going to start to bring awareness to the ways that we keep ourselves stuck and open up something more powerful. Okay, now here's the positive side of this challenge, positive identity challenge. Let's start by saying, instead of I've got this identity and so that's created my life and who would I be without this negative belief, we're going to flip it around. I want you to think about the life you would prefer. Are you healthier? Are you more energized? Are you in a job, career, business that you love? Are you in a loving relationship? Are you laughing, lit up, singing, dancing? Are you financially better off and doing different things? Are you living a completely different kind of lifestyle? Are you in a different location? Do you have just a different feeling state inside? You're more peaceful, you're more serene, you're more intuitive. You want a certain life, okay? So start to think about what that life is right now. Just pick even one or two things. Now is the question to answer. Who would you have to be if you were in that life? Who would you be in that life? for you to create it, for you to invite it, for you to receive it, for you to live it, for you to sustain it, and for you to be it. The health, the relationship, the love, the friendships, the laughter, the business, the career. Because for you to live in that newer version of a life, you have to have an identity that matches it, that aligns with it. Meaning, you have to be believing, thinking, feeling, choosing, behaving, and doing as the person that creates and sustains that life. So, for example, if you want a life of abundance, you need an identity of self-worth, abundance, and allowing all of that in. If you want a thriving career, business, then you need an identity of, here I am, world, see me, I'm about it, I'm capable, I love it, I'm in action, taking action, I'm doing all the things. There's no space to be hiding. There's no space to be avoiding. There's no space to be in self-judgment. There's no space to be shrinking away. So when you look at the life you want, like for example, you want a loving relationship. Well, if you want a loving relationship, who would I need to be as an identity, as in my beliefs, thoughts, and behaviors to invite that and sustain that? Well, I need to have my heart open. There can't be walls up. And I need to be communicative. There can't be avoiding a vulnerability and not being authentic. And I need to be like feeling worthy of love and like loving myself and respecting myself if I'm going to be in relationship with someone else. And so we're saying, what is the life that I want and who would I need to be in that in terms of my identity for me to welcome it and sustain it? And it starts to show you where the mismatch is for what's not working for you now, but also where the huge opportunity is for where you want to go. Okay, so now we're going to talk about what does that practically mean, because it's not that complicated actually. What's really interesting about psychological emotional shifts is that they're not necessarily complicated to do in and of themselves. It's really about understanding what you're shifting at a root level, what you're shifting to, where you're going, and a methodical, very consistent process to lovingly lead and rewire your mind and your nervous system and your emotional state into alignment with where you're going, to release the old and invite and embody the new. So we're going to start by talking about the power of I am. Identity is whatever follows I am. I am worthy, I am good enough, I am deserving, I am connected, I am supported, I belong, I am abundant, I am successful, I am awesome at my job, I am confident, I am capable, I am whatever. I am from this country, I am a mother, I am a father, I am a daughter, I am a great friend, I am a loving partner, I am a whatever. Whatever follows I am becomes your identity. So now start to pay very close attention to what you tell yourself you are. What does your mind say at the level of your beliefs and recurring thoughts? I am what? I'm this, I'm that, I'm not. What follows I am inside your sweet little mind? There will be some I am statements that are really awesome and very powerful, and there will be others that are not. And let's talk about the power of the I am statement and why the I am, other than the obvious things. When you say I am, of course it's your identity, because you're declaring to other people via your words, I am, you're telling people who you are. Now, you're not just telling people who you are, you're literally telling life who you are. All of life is an energy field and it's constantly responding to you. So whatever follows I am, including I'm not, I am or I am not, is a declaration and it forms your identity. But here's what's really important. It's powerful spiritually, psychologically, emotionally, and habitually. Spiritually, why is it powerful to say the words I am? Because at the core foundation, I am that I am is a declaration of who you are as a divine being beyond this world. I am that I am is a statement that says I am one with all that is. I am source. I am soul. I am the universe. I am God. I am creator. I am all of those things because I was born of that. I'm a child of it. And so just the words I am, full stop, are a statement of declaring your place in this universe as one with all that is. So whatever you say after that is so important and so powerful because it's going to trickle down into your 3D life as a human being and start to influence your reality. Secondly, the statements beginning with I am are psychologically wiring you. I want you to think about it like this. Every cell in your body is listening to you every minute of every day. Your own subconscious mind is constantly absorbing and recording like a tape recorder everything it sees and hears, including what you say to yourself. So when you repeatedly say I am something and I am not something, whether it's positive or negative, your own mind is laying down tracks, laying down neural pathways, and they become stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger the more you say it and think it. Plus, when you add emotional conviction to that and you really feel it, it becomes like on steroids. Okay? Thirdly, the statement I am, utilized repeatedly in any direction, positively or negatively, is emotionally entraining you. Because when you use positive I am statements, you are soothing and supporting your nervous system and you are bringing in positive resonance. When you are laying down I am toxic statements from conditioning and then self-flagellation and self-loathing, which we get caught in, it's very human, right? It's not wrong, it's just painfully it is. When that happens, you are harming your nervous system constantly because what it is this. You have to live with yourself 24/7, and if you are laying out painful I am not statements to yourself all the time, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I don't belong, I'm incapable, I'm a fool, I'm whatever, that is like being at war inside yourself. It is a permanent conflict inside yourself, and your nervous system goes in fight, flight. You become fearful, anxious, and stressed because you have an enemy inside of you that you cannot get away from. And it is emotionally entraining you in a direction you do not want to go. And your whole life is just a feeling experience. So when you feel great, doesn't matter the cause, it's awesome. And when you feel terrible, it doesn't matter the cause, life is terrible. Because everything is a feeling experience, and all most people want is to feel love and peace and happiness. And the last reason the I am statements are very powerful is this. All the I am statements that make up your identity are also driving your habits, your behaviors, your choices, your actions. So when you are constantly telling yourself that I am capable and I am confident, you are going to behave that way. When you are telling yourself I'm not good enough and I'm unworthy, you're going to take actions and do habits that are completely in alignment with that. And then those habits, behaviors, choices, and actions create results in your life, and you look at those results and you say, see, I am useless. See, I am incapable. See, I'm not worthy because look at this financial situation. Look at my body. Look at my job situation. Look at the conflict I just created with someone. And you take it to be evidence that reinforces your identity, when in fact not realizing you could shift it. If you shifted at the level of your identity, your paradigm, your beliefs, your I ams, creating a different I am spiritual invocation to the universe. Declare to the universe, I am the universe made manifest. I am good enough, I am worthy, and I am deserving. I am powerful. I'm a strong, capable business person or career person. I'm a loving, patient, capable parent. I'm a loving, connected partner. Whatever it is that you want in your life, and then you lay it down and you psychologically train yourself and you emotionally support yourself in that direction, you start taking choices, behavior, and actions that match it, your life starts to look differently. And that's not even to mention the fact that other than you are a creator of your reality, change your mind about who you are, claim a new identity, and you literally start to create different results. Beyond that, life is listening to you. The world looks physical to you, but it's really energetic. And at the core of everything is pure energy to which you are intricately connected, and it is constantly responding to you. So shifting your I am identity, claiming an identity that matches the kind of life you want, embodying it now, actually begins to create what look like beautiful synchronicities, slipstream, magic, miracles, ease, flow. You become an attractive point for that which you are wanting to bring into your life because you are being it. You are being it, and it's matching you. So where do we go from here? I want to suggest to you 2 approaches for dealing with creating a change in your mind about who you are and claiming your own identity. Before I get to those 2 approaches, obviously you want to know, what is my current mindset about who I think I am? Therefore, what is my identity? And is it working for me or not working for me? And what bits are not working? And then you get to choose, based on the life that I want, who would I need to be to have that? And what, therefore, do I want to claim as my new identity? What will be my new I am statements that completely empower me and are a match for the life I want? Okay, so that's the foundational piece. But then once you've done that, here are the 2 approaches you can take. One does not work and one absolutely works. When you have decided upon what you want to claim as your new identity, and you're changing your mind about who you are, you can either do number 1. Well, here I am in my old identity, and I'm going to work, quotation, I'm going to work my way toward where I want to be with my new identity. I'm going to fix myself and change myself so that I can, in the future, get to a place where I can be my new identity. But let's be honest, right now, I'm my old identity, and so I've got to do the work, right? So what that means is your new identity is out there, it's out in front of you, it's out in your future, but you're not that yet. Okay, so what you're doing is you're making your claimed identity, your positive chosen identity, you're making it your end game, your end point, and then you're going to try to work your way towards it. Okay, notice how that feels. It feels like hard work and it feels not very pleasant. Okay, so that's the first approach. Choose that if you want to. Here is the second approach, which I highly encourage you to choose instead. The second approach is this. Oh, I've woken up to the fact that I was completely conditioned into a bullshit story, excuse my language, about who I am, and that is not actually who I am. I've been walking around saying I'm not this and I'm not that and I'm not good enough and I'm not worthy and I'm not capable, and actually I'm on a spiritual path and I know the truth. The truth is I am a divine being. I am a child of the universe, God created divinity. I carry the same traits. I am innately worthy. I am inherently good enough. I am capable, far more capable than I've ever realized. I am loving. I am kind. I am an excellent parent, mother, father, partner, friend. I am an excellent whatever business person, whatever it is. I am abundant. Claim it, because you realize that is innately who you are, and choose to begin to feel that now. begin to go within your heart. Don't look in the world around you. Don't look at your past. Don't look at your current circumstances. Those things are all effects of a cause. They are the tail end effect of a cause of a misperception identity. So of course it all looks that way. So don't look at that. Go within. Go into your heart. Meditate into your heart center and feel and see the truth of who you are. When you go deeply within and you connect in with oneness, God created divinity within yourself and with your own soul, you will feel and you will see the truth of who you are, and you will absolutely sense the fullness of your chosen identity, your new identity. And FYI, it's not really new because it's the power of your soul of who you were before you were born and who you have always been. So we call it your new identity, but it's really your true identity. Your true identity when you drop all the BS conditioning that got put on you or that your sweet little mind when you were a child accidentally took on board. So what we say is, we're saying, I'm going to stand in the shoes of that identity now. I've recognized who I am not, an old mindset, an old identity that didn't work for me and isn't even true. And I'm going to stand right now in the shoes of who I was before I was born and have always been. I'm going to claim it now with my sovereignty and my agency and my personal power. I'm recognizing who I actually am, and I'm standing in the shoes of that now. And the only way you will fully be able to embody that is if you go deeply within yourself and you spend time in your heart center and you meditate into it. The reason is if you look at your past and you look at your circumstances in your life right now, or you listen to your mind, they're going to show you the effect of the original cause being a small identity that was negative and didn't work for you. You just have to remember that everything that you notice about your past and your circumstances right now are the effect of you being in an identity that wasn't even true and didn't work for you. So they don't have the answers. Your circumstances don't have the answers. Your past does not have the answers. Source and your soul have the answers. You have to go in your heart and say, this is who I truly feel myself to be. It's the life that I really desire. And by the way, the life you really desire is coming from a deep soulful yearning within you. That's why you desire it. Because desire is a loving energy of source that wants to move through you and play in the world. It's of your soul, creative, inspired, joyous, expansive. It feels resonant, it feels light, it feels right. So when you desire that life and you say, this is who I am and need to be in order to match that life, that's the truth of who you are. That's the untapped potential that you have not met yet. That is the true fullness of your soul expression that wants you to step into it. And the only place you will truly connect with that is through your heart yearning and going deeply within. And here's the thing. You stand in that new identity or that true identity as your starting point now. So whereas the first approach we talked about, well, here I am in my old identity and that my new identity and the life I want is out there and I'm going to have to work my way toward it, meaning it's my end point. No, we don't do it that way. We say, here is my claimed new identity. I've changed my mind about who I think I am. I've remembered who I really am, and I'm going to stand in the shoes of it now, and it is my starting point. And because it's my starting point, I can instantly drop association with all that came before, and I can believe, think, and feel into who I really am, my claimed identity, and it is going to immediately begin to ripple out into how I behave and what I create and who I'm being in the world and what I'm attracting as a result, and therefore the life that I'm creating now. So I hope this has been food for thought and that it has opened up some possibility and potentiality for you. I invite you to frame your own identity, to claim your own identity for yourself, and to realize that you have the power to shift your identity because It is absolutely proven that you have neuroplasticity. You can change your mind. And who you think you are absolutely directly influences the life that you have. So for more help with this, I'm very excited to share with you, the first to hear about it here and now, a brand new offering that I have for a maximum of 10 people. I'm going to be emailing my community about this offer in a few days. So if you're listening to this podcast when it first comes out, you're the first to hear, and you can be the first to jump in and claim a spot. To help you identify and release the old identity that is absolutely not working for you, to change your mind about who you are in a very powerful, proven and practical way, for you to name and claim your true and new identity that matches the life that you want to live, which creates transformational effects. I have put together a really fun and awesome package to work with me. My program, Master Your Mind, has not been publicly available for several years. It is only inside my Soul Odyssey community. But for the first time in several years, I am making it available for enrollment for only 10 people. And I am teaming that online program, Master Your Mind, with private one-on-one coaching with me, where you'll get private tuition customized to your unique needs to help you implement this in a really powerful and rapid way. So to find out all the details about this, the Mind Mastery private package, including my Master Your Mind program and private coaching with me combined together, just email me to support@bernadettelogue.com, support@bernadettelogue.com, and in the subject line, I just want you to write breakthrough. Email me in the subject line, put breakthrough, and I'm going to send you all the information about this Mind Mastery private package, a maximum of 10 people. The beauty of this package is that you can begin that program in any timing that suits you. Do it in your own time, and I'm going to make the private coaching component available for use over a 6-month period. Okay, I'll give you all the details of how many sessions are included, how that all works when you email me. But the beautiful thing is that it doesn't matter what's going on in your life right now. You're going to have 6 months to utilize this experience with me in a timing and way that completely suits your own lifestyle and schedule. So if you are up for changing your mind about who you think you are, claiming your true identity and stepping into your power so that you can match and live the life that you really want, I'm excited to work with you. There's a max of 10 spaces. Don't forget to email me, support@bernadettelogue.com, subject line breakthrough. I'll send you back through all the details, including availability and pricing. It's been a pleasure to be here with you, sharing on this topic of changing your mind about who you are. And if you're going to be joining me, I'm excited to see you soon. And I look forward to sharing the next episode of this podcast with you.
Thanks for listening to Practical Spirituality with B. I'll talk to you next episode for more spiritual advice for your everyday life, helping you align with your soul so you can live with purpose, fulfillment, and magic.